Welcome to Smeathorpe Stadium near Taunton for the second day of a weekend of brisca Formula 2 stock car action. The drivers competing for the Benevolent Fun Trophy here on this Sunday. And after a day of glorious weather on Saturday evening, sadly the conditions have returned to more traditional UK short oval racing weather. It is absolutely tipping it down here at Taunton, but the drivers will give it their best for this brisca F2 Benevolent Fun Trophy. The main race is the third race on the programme, doubling up as heat number 3, 2 heats for the non-qualified drivers first up, and in the second half of our programme we have the consolation final and Grand National. An excellent field of brisca F2 stock cars here for the second day of a weekender here at Taunton. The first day was pretty chaotic, it has to be said. Good weather though, but the white graders in the first heat didn't take long to get nicely tangled up coming out of turn 2. Race resumed with a good drive by Aaron Vate in the 184 car as he sped through to take the 27 car of Kieran Bradford for the lead, and then went clear to take a victory. Justin Fisher well involved as well in the 315 car, one of the local stars. Great field of over 60 brisca F2s here over the course of this weekend. The second heat was led early on by white grader Luke Johnson and yellow top 398 Ian England, but the star on the Taunton concrete over the last couple of seasons has been Luke Wrench, who of course won the Grand National Championship here last season. He was just too fast for his opposition, was in the lead by half distance and looks set to pull away for a dominant victory in heat number 2 of this Saturday night. The former world champion James Ryger was right in the battle as well as Wrench went on to victory. Heat number 3 was led early on by Jamie Jones and Joe Marquand, but from the 24, Mr. Box Office himself, John Palmer, was soon on their tails, put the bumper in and went from third to first in a fine manoeuvre to take the lead and go on to win in heat number 3. Great to see spectators back at Smeathorpe Stadium at trackside as well. On with a thumbs up for them after his heat number 3 victory. The consolation led early on by white top Sam Dobbs. Quickest man was a man who suffered a few problems in the heats. 127 Matt Stoneman, he was soon through challenging Ian England for the lead, and he came through at half distance to take the lead and the victory. The man from Exeter as the sun sets over Smeathorpe Stadium. A great night being enjoyed by all on day 1 of this weekender. With the meeting final with over 30 cars out there, chaos predictably ensued. Tristan Claydon running over Jessica Smith courtesy of the bumper of Dan Fallows, as several other cars came to grief in the early stages around the raceway, but it was that man Luke Wrench, the national points champion with the silver roof, who was just too quick for everybody. A mid-race yellow flag for stranded cars slowed his progress briefly just after he took the lead away, but there was no stopping Luke Wrench as he sped to a dominant heat and final double. 37 cars started the Grand National, which began with a bit of sibling rivalry. Harley Thakra in the number 9 running over his brother Jordan in the 324 car, courtesy of several bits of bumper work from behind. John Palmer was in good form as complete mayhem ensued elsewhere, with broken and spun cars littering the raceway by half distance. Great drives through the pack, including by Luke Wrench. Started from the lap handicap, having won the final. He spun in the early stages as well, was able to close up and smashed his way through the pack and to an excellent eventual third place by flag 4. There was no catching the top 2, however, as John Palmer and Aaron Vate raced clear of the field, and it was a second win for Mr. Box Office himself in the number 24 car. Well, that was Saturday night. This is Sunday. Seems to rain for every major meeting here at Taunton, sadly. 16 cars on the grid for Heat 1. All the main players have qualified for the Benevolent Fund Trophy race through the points chart. That's Heat 3, so it's mainly lower graders out there for this Heat number 1. One blue top out there, number 464, Matt Linfield. If you're unfamiliar with the grading system in stock cars, it goes white, yellow, blue, red and superstar, according to your performance in previous meetings. The grades revised each month by David Haymar, the official grader. Getting ready for heat number 1 though, we've got 16 cars out there on track, mostly from the 2 lower grades. Away we go over 16 laps, then they start to slip and slide. Not much grip out there on the concrete, unfortunately. It's tight and tricky, short oval. We get underway then, 722 John Broach, the North East based driver at the head of the yellow tops, and already we've got cars pinballing everywhere. 376, that's one of the Seneschal family. Darren Seneschal goes around. Colin Gregg has gone as well, and 844 of Jack Prosser. So early chaos among the yellow graders there. 1:28 getting through on the inside. That's Jack Bunter, his family, the promoters at Mendips Raceway near Bristol. Your early leader is the 194 of Luke Johnson, and a spin there for John Broach in the 722. Just trying to find some grip on this wet concrete surface. Such a shame for the promoters' auto speed here at Smith Up, and not surprisingly we see the yellow flag out because we've had so many spinners in the early stages. There's cars stranded around the raceway. Here's the early chaos among the yellow tops. Yeah, Ben Spence involved in the 903, and they just pinballed around him. Colin Gregg in there, Jamie Jones in the 915, 844 of Jack Prosser. It was Darren Seneschal who was sent across the track into the wall there. And most of the back end of the field involved in that early pile-up. Matt Linfield, the only blue top there, 464, didn't know where to go. So Luke Johnson with the lead. It's 379 in second. That's Dale Seneschal Jr. We've got Dale Senior somewhere down this lineup in 482 as well. So 3 members of the Seneschal family in this heat's at number 1. Let's see what's going to happen on this restart. Let's hope for a bit less mayhem and that we can get this 16-lap race completed without incident. The drivers looking for places in the meeting final. Leading names in the Benevolent Fund Trophy race, which is Heat 3, based on largely on the 2020 points charts, though it was a reduced season last year, of course. So the lineup has had to be slightly tweaked. We'll come to that later on, though, because Heat number 1 about to get back underway. Jamie Jones getting the bumper in on Ben Spence there in the 903 car. It is Luke Johnson who leads. Seneschal in second. Richard Andrews in the 605 is third. As they start to sort themselves out. The yellow grade has recovered from that chaotic start. Bumpers going in there. John Broach takes out 398 of Ian England. 291 goes spinning as well. That's Dan Baker. They're sorting themselves out in the midfield. Places chopping and changing all the time. It's still Luke Johnson who leads. Colin Gregg up there on the inside, very experienced Formula 2 racer in 305. Matt Linfield, the highest grader in this race, the only blue top. Expect him to go well here. Inside attacking John Broach, and Colin Gregg gets past Ben Spence as well. Bumpers clanging into each other on the turns. Ben Spence now attacking, I think that's Ian England in the 398. It's still Luke Johnson who leads the way. This for the minor placings further back. Johnson leads it. We've got Seneschal in second, Dale Seneschal Jr. in 379. That is 3 members of the family in this race. As we mentioned, Dan Wallop straight in, almost there goes Ben Spence, courtesy of Ian England. A revenge bit of bumper work there for a hit earlier on. White top spinning onto the centre, and that's David North in 636. But a much reduced pace compared to last night, given the conditions. That infield tries an attack there. This car sliding about ahead of the leaders there. This pack, as they fight, is carrying itself forward up the order. In goes the bumper. Linfield gets fired wide by Ian England. He's hitting everything in sight in the 398 car. Trying to get to the front of this group, and then he can attack the leaders. He goes for Colin Gregg. All over slides there. Nearly loses it. Gregg goes around. That takes out John Broach as well. There are the leaders. It looks like it's Matt Linfield up into third place now, as expected. Then we've got England up into fourth. He survived that, going through to third now. And then 903 of Ben Spence. Now, can they catch the 2 leaders? They're catching Seneschal, and looks like we've had a tangle there through turns 1 and 2. Yeah, Seneschal has gone in 379. That's delayed the cars behind slightly. Ian England up into second place. Now down to the business of trying to catch Luke Johnson in 194, who's got a very clear lead here. 3 wide further back in the pack. 128 of Jack Bunter on the inside, coming through past Dale Seneschal Senior in 482, but I think the yellow flags have come out. Yes, they have, because of that stranded car of 379 Dale Seneschal Jr. to allow him a chance to recover, and of course as soon as the yellow flags are out, he drives off. See what happened there. He was slowing up anyway, I think, and then the bumper went in from Ian England, spun him around, so maybe he did have a problem there. Stuck in the middle of turn 2, so the yellow flags came out. That's the last thing Luke Johnson wanted to see, because he was cruising to victory out in front, but now he's got Ian England right on his bumper for the restart. Spence in third, then Jamie Jones, Matt Linfield, Dale Seneschal, no, Jack Bunter, sorry, next in the order, then Dale Seneschal Senior, and behind him is 182 rather of Jack White. 128, 482 and 182. Too many similar numbers in this race. Behind them 6.05 Richie Andrews, and then Colin Gregg, who's had a couple of spins already. Leading runners go through to the final. Can Luke Johnson hang on in front? There's not many cars left running. As we get back underway, Matt Linfield straight on the attack, and Ian England's going to be straight on the attack as well. He's been hitting everything in sight in this race. Tries to line up Johnson for an attack, and he's hooked him there around. Round goes the race leader. But it didn't take him long. He knew exactly where to hit him there. You saw going into the first turn. He hit the outside of his rear bumper, just enough to spin the car around. Luke Johnson loses his lead. And it's now Ian England in 3.98 up front. Side by side, Jack Bunter and Dale Seneschal Senior. Try saying that after a few drinks. Back up the inside in the 482. 722 John Broach comes through past Colin Gregg. They've been battling each other all the way through this heat number one. Slip and slide their way round. Bouncing off the fence there, Jack Bunter in 428. Bunter's active in circuit racing as well. Alan Bunter has done a bit of circuit racing with the 750 Motor Club. We're in the closing stages now. Luke Johnson has recovered. Hopefully he can still get a final place. 464 of Matt Linfield holding off Ben Spence and trying to for second place. Using the wider line, it's working for Linfield there. Looks like it is going to be a win for Ian England in car number 398. Couple of laps to go now. There's Jamie Jones, 915. He's in fourth place. Very smartly turned out car for him. Ian England is well up the road, and Colin Gregg has spun again, spinning like a top all the way through this race. The unfortunate 305. There's 182. That's Jack White. To move up from white grade. 3.98 Ian England has run away at the front of the field in this one. Matt Linfield's not going to catch him. It's going to be the 3.98 car, a well-earned victory. Got it exactly right on that restart. He spun Luke Johnson aside, and he takes the flag. Matt Linfield comes over in second, Spence third, then Jones. Looks like Seneschal Senior comes over in fifth position. Confirm the rest of the results in just a moment then. No doubt about your winner, Ian England in 3.98. First winner of this Sunday at Smith Harp Stadium. You'll certainly be pleased with that, looking to move up the grades from yellow. Let's confirm the result of that one. Ian England the winner by 1.3 seconds ahead of Matt Linfield. Ben Spence in third ahead of Jamie Jones. Dale Seneschal Senior in 4.82 taking fifth. Jack Bunter sixth ahead of John Broach, an eventful race for him. Jack White, long-time leader Luke Johnson, and Richie Andrews round out the top 10.
F2 Heat 1 winner, Ian England. What a tricky day today, but you've survived it.
Yeah, really pleased because it's the first time I've driven this car in the wet, and to come out with a win is brilliant.
Yeah, I mean everybody raced last night where it was nice and dry, then you come here today, it's a completely different setup.
Yeah, I didn't have any luck last night in the dry. I got battered, and but came away with a fifth in the consolation. Didn't anything else really.
And it looks like you've still got your car out. You haven't put it in the trailer, so you're going to go out for the final as well?
Yeah, definitely. Can't not really.
Let's do it again then.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you.
18 cars on track for heat number 2. Again, mainly lower graders in this one. A couple of lady racers out there. Lauren Stack from white grade in 928 and Jessica Smith in 390. Goes from yellow top. Blue grader towards the back as well. Got a novice starting from the rear of the grid too. Some names to look out for in this one. James Lindsay at 572. So the 467 of Aidan McFerrin. Charlie Lobb in 988, who won many races in the mini stocks here. There he is in the middle of the yellow graders, also a saloon stock car racer. We're underway then with 928 Lauren Stack at the front of the field. A bit of slip and slide through the first turn as expected. 544 in the middle there, that is Will Adams. It's Lawrence Stack who leads the way into turns 3 and 4. There's Jess Smith in the middle in 390, 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. It's the Smith family phenomenally successful in brisca F1 over the years. Jess's granddad Stuart Smith Senior, arguably the greatest stock car racer in the UK of all time. Coming through into second there, 466 of Jake Williamson behind Lawrence Stack in 928. All holding it together fairly well so far, as in goes the bumper on the race leader, and round goes Lawrence Stack. That was from Jake Williamson in the 466. 976 Dan Kent goes out wide in avoidance. So it's now 466 of Jake Williamson. Distinct sideways style from him as he leads the way. Starting to settle into a rhythm now then. Smith running well, so is Charlie Lobb. There's 467, that's Aidan McFerrin, very smartly turned out car for him. Behind him 35 is Charlie Fisher, 544 Will Adams, 177 is Chris Masters. There's Dan Kent, although Blue Raider is Mike Phillip in 195. He could be the favourites here. It's in many more miles than most to race, as Chris Masters is spun around in 177, so is Dan Kent in 976. That was Mike Phillip putting the bumper in. To the centre, mind those big marker tyres, those Earth Mover tyres. They don't tend to move very far if you hit them in an F2 or in a saloon stock car, as we've seen this weekend at Taunton. It is National Championship Day for the saloons here at Smeathart. That'll be coming up in our next programme. Stack has got going again in 9:28 as we come up towards half distance. Good to see a couple of lady racers out there. It is yesterday we did see the Benevolent Fun ladies race won by Sarah Harley. Going up towards halfway then. Jake Williamson has the lead in car 466. He's lapped Lawrence Stack. Distinctive sideways style there, able to put the power down, keep the tail hanging out. There's the 746 of Gary Kitching, he's running well, so is Gary Wrench in 359. Saw what his nephew Luke can do in Saturday night's meeting with a heat and final double. He'll be out in the Heat 3, the Benevolent Fun Trophy. Charlie Lobb on the attack in 988. Through the mini stocks here. There's 572, James Lindsay on the centre. Gets it going again. Lobb has been in the saloon stocks more recently, now moving to F2s, attacking Lawrence Stack in the 928. In the second half of this heat number 2 for the brisca F2s. 466, Jake Williamson still leading. Are we going to have a white grade winner? Perhaps Mark Taylor there in the 444. I think that's our novice that started from the back of the grid. Start from the back as a novice for your first 3 meetings, then you join the white tops at the front. Boards are out from the starter, 5 to go. 760 goes a lap down, that's Trevor Doob. So coming up on one of the yellow graders to go a lap down here, 663 that is. In the closing stages now of this heat number 2. Charlie Lobb running well, he's up there in second place by the look of it. Tell the runners behind our leader, because several drivers have been lapped. In fact, it's Gary Wrench in second, I apologise. Checking the timing as they came through there. There's Gary Kitching, behind him Jess Smith. Round sideways, there goes Trevor Doob in the 760 and spins onto the centre. So treacherous out there on this soaking wet concrete surface. There's Kitching under fire from Jess Smith. 663. Looks like it is going to be a win for 466 Jake Williamson. Gary Wrench, I don't think he's going to catch him. They're coming up on Dan Kent in 976. This is good stuff from the white grader. Down the back straight he goes for the final time. It's going to be a win for 466 Jake Williamson through the final turn and up towards the checkered flag. Well done, Jake Williamson. We have a white grade winner. Gary Wrench comes over in second and Charlie Lobb in third. So they come home Kitching, Smith, Ferran and the rest of them. Confirm that result in a second. Not quite as wild as Heat 1 was, not quite so many spinners. Good driving by Jake Williamson, very precise, sliding the car around. Confirm the result then. And unfortunately, I can tell you that Jake Williamson's car failed post-race scrutineering, so he has been removed from the results. So Gary Wrench inherits the win ahead of Lobb, Kitching, Smith and McFerran. Charlie Fisher in 6th ahead of Blue Top Mike Phillip. Then Kent, Taylor and Lindsay complete the top 10. Now now it is time for the main event of the day, the Benevolent Fund Trophy. Brisca F2 Ben Fund raising money to help injured drivers and their families. Based on the 2020 points chart loosely, with the drivers starting in reverse from that points chart, and 4 wildcards added from Saturday's racing as well. So a slightly unusual grid, not starting in grades here. We've got 32 cars out there. Big names to watch in this one include Luke Wrench, the national points champion, the British champion with the black and white roof there. That's Stephen Gilbert, number 542. Our winners from Saturday's meeting in there as well: Aaron Vates, John Palmer, Matt Stoneman, Joe Marquand there in 689, the blue top. 161 Ben Bate with the red wheels. So a big field of 32 cars out there. This is going to be mayhem out there. The 2021 Brisca F2 Benevolent Fund Trophy about to get underway over 20 laps. Here we go. Down towards that first turn, there's already mayhem. A couple of the blue graders go out there. Matt Hatch in the 320 to 287 car has gone as well of Luke Beeson. Tell me they're all trying to win the race on the first lap, as often happens in Brisca F2. Aaron Bate getting caught up there with John Palmer down the back straight, and wallop into the marker tyres goes Palmer. One of the favourites has gone already. They start to sort themselves out. The early leader is Adam Rubery in number 700, I can tell you, from the outside of the front row. It was John Whittaker who started from pole. They're all over each other in the pack. Joe Marquand trying to fire his way through. There's Rubery, he's taken the early lead in 700, the Midlands based race there. 979 Paul Moss gets well. There's a whole stack of cars gone in there. Luke Wrench is in that. There's another of the favourites gone. Paul Moss is in there, Julian Coombs, and about 10 more cars just went smashing into the wall there at turn 3. And more cars piling in. Joe Marquand gets fired in by Adam Rubery. Well, that's the leader gone. I don't know whether he was pushed there from behind as well. Who's that given the lead to? I've lost track of this already. It's 801, Jack Cave, who's taken the lead now, the blue top. Yeah, there he is. He's got Jamie Avery attacking him in 126. Come on, guys, it's a 20-lap race, not 5. Half the field's out already, I think. Jamie Avery has taken the lead in car 126. There's damage to Jack Cave's car, the back end there in 801. They're starting to sort themselves out a bit more now. There's a whole pile of cars went in at one end of the raceway. That's accounted for Luke Wrench in 560. He's out. We've got somebody spun there. I think that's Julian Coombs, 828. There's Wrench. He just got a glimpse of the silver roof there as he tries to reverse out. 689 Joe Marquand attacking the 210 of Tristan Claydon. Well, here are the leaders. 126 of Jamie Avery. Across the front of him now, I think it was Luke Beeson in 287. Okay, things calming down now slightly in this 2021 Brisca F2 Benevolent Fund Trophy. Where's Matt Stoneman going? Nearly into a parked car there. Try and establish the race order in a moment. It's tricky because so many people have lost laps in those early stages with those pile-ups happening. Jamie Avery, we know, is leading in 126. Here at Smith Stadium. We're already almost up to half distance. Aaron Vate under fire from the 418. That's Ben Borthwick. More attacking going on. 736 under fire. That's Josh Weir. Matt Hatch got going again after that tangle on the first lap. There's Charlie Ginchard, number 183, the former Novice of the Year winner. Looks like he goes up at a problem there. There's Stephen Gilbert, 542. So slippery out there, especially when you got Ryan Sheehan in 325 putting the bumper in on him. Okay, so Jamie Avery leads at half distance. I'll be honest, I've got no idea of the order behind him. Everybody just seemed to go for it in the first 2 laps, treating it like a 5-lap sprint, as happens in most Brisca F2 Championship races, to be honest. We lost several of the favourites early on. There's Avery. Good drive here from the 126 so far. Matt Hatch behind him, lapping Kieran Bradford in the 27. He was one of the 4 drivers who qualified through last night's race meeting, the top 4 scorers who weren't already on the grid. They were Kieran Bradford, John Whittaker, Mike Rice and Tommy Farrell. Trying to work out the positions behind. The starter signalling them through. Joe Marquand, I know, is up there among the front runners. There's Avery, number 126, the leader. 183 Charlie Ginchard, I think, is a lap down. So it could well be Marquand in second place in 689. Yes, second and third are Marquand and Jack Cave. Charlie Ginchard, I think, is a lap down. 183. Quick on Shale as well. Won just about every honour available to him in national mini-stocks, so Charlie. 320 Matt Hatch, we know, is a lap down because we saw him tangle with Luke Gleeson early on. Justin Fisher in 315 has spun there. Ginchard tangling up with Matt Hatch, out they go, onto the centre. So Marquand second, Cave third. Beyond that, I'm not too sure. What we do know is this man is leading, 126, Jamie Avery. Apologies, a difficult race to follow here. We've lost 890 into a spin there, that's Paul Rice. John Whittaker, who started on pole, goes a lap down. The lap boards are out on the 2021 Ben Fund Trophy. So looks like it's going to be a win for Jamie Avery, which will be one of the biggest wins of his F2 career so far. 542 Stephen Gilbert still pressing on in the top 10. We'll unscramble the results once the race is completed. The early chaos removing several of the favourites. There's Jack Cave in 801, he's in third place. Behind him Tommy Farrell is in fourth in 667. 2 laps to go for Jamie Avery in 126. John Palmer didn't even complete the first lap in 24, he went into the infield tyres. There's the last lap board out for 126. Jamie Avery driven away from the rest of the field here, avoiding all the spun and stranded cars in the early stages, some of whom got going again, some didn't. The 2021 Brisca F2 Benevolent Fund Trophy is going to be won by Jamie Avery in 126, punches the air as he crosses the line. Great drive, 689 Joe Marquand in second and Jack Cave in third, with the rain getting heavier and heavier. It's wondering that any of the drivers could see where they were going in that race. Congratulations Jamie Avery in 126, taking the win in our Benevolent Fund Trophy for the Brisca F2s 2021. Not a huge amount of finishers to that one, plenty of stranded cars. Jamie Avery very, very pleased, one of the biggest wins of his F2 career so far, the red grader. He will celebrate with the Ben Fund officials on the infield and receive the trophy. We'll confirm the full results in a second. A bit of a tricky one to work out, that one, it has to be said. Let's have a look at the result then. Jamie Avery the winner by nearly 3 seconds, ahead of Joe Marquand and Jack Cave, who completed the top 3. Tommy Farrell in fourth, ahead of British champion Stephen Gilbert. Then 581 Dan Fallows, 325 Brian Sheehan next, Ben Borthwick, 895 of Ben Goddard, and Aaron Bates completing the top 10.
F2 Ben Fund winner, 126 Jamie Avery. That's nice to get a title early on in the season.
Yeah, it's very nice to get a title early on in the season, yeah.
There was a lot of good drivers out there, but they seem to just be concerned with wiping each other out, and you got away.
Yeah, I mean, I think I took the lead after about the third or second lap, and it felt like an eternity, the race did, but then I just settled in, and it come to me.
Yeah, very, very tricky conditions today, aren't it?
Yeah, really tricky. It's horrendous out there. I mean, when you got a 30-car final, you just cannot see a thing, but it was good.
And of course, you've stayed, you're going out for the final now, so you might do it again?
Yeah, going to go out for the final now, give it our best shot.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you. I just want to say a quick thank you to my sponsors, Rev Comps. Big up to them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Jamie Avery, Benevolent Fund Trophy winner for 2021. We're now going to take a short break, but there's plenty more Brisca F2 stock car racing coming up in just a few minutes' time here at Sleep Stadium. Don't go away.